Hi, Instagram, welcoming myself back from maternity leave. So I had planned to abstain from doing all events for the first 6 weeks of my son's life because I wanted to be super present. And today was my first day back. Imagine my surprise when I log onto Twitter at noon or 1 o'clock p.m. and I see that Candace Owens is trending. And I'm sitting here thinking, why am I trending? I haven't said anything that could even be deemed controversial. I have no idea why 40,000 people are tweeting about Candace Owens. And come to find out, it is for the most basic statement ever. So I'm starting to think that first and foremost, the left just misses me. So I'm back. Ta-da, I'm back. Your favorite villain of common sense. Like, why is she always just out here saying common sense stuff? But for me to be trending over common sense, right? People are upset that I called out feminists saying that all of them are frauds, that they have not yet tackled the trans movement. All right, so do me a favor. Find yourself a person, a celebrity. I love women, feminist. I'm on stage. I don't know, Taylor Swift. 10 girls, look at me, 20 girls. I love women. I love being a woman. It's all about girl power. Who is remaining mum about what is happening right now to women's sports. And I will show you a fraud. So in my opinion, Donald Trump is a feminist icon for what he said yesterday on stage at CPAC, being the only person that I have seen have the spine to stand up on a stage and say, this is not okay. And let me say this first and foremost, because a lot of people try to assert me as always on the opposite side of Black Twitter on certain issues. No, this is actually something that I find that most Black Americans, like 99% of Black Americans, agree on, that this is the reach. The trans movement is really just the agenda is what I'm talking about. If you're a trans person, I totally believe that your rights should be protected as rights of all human beings are protected, that nobody should be attacking you, that you shouldn't be under threat of violence. But when you start stepping on the toes of women's sports, of women, of what it means to be a woman, to say that it's a form of bigotry for me to say that I'm a woman, that there's nothing different about me and a guy that puts on a dress and says, I identify as a woman. Like, I didn't just push push my son out of me. Like there's nothing special. Like pregnancy, only women can get pregnant. Only women can have miscarriages. Only women can menstruate. For every awkward moment, girls had growing up, you're just going to erase all of that and pretend that men can just snap their fingers and be like, I identify as a woman and that's it. And this is ludicrous. This is insane, right? I feel like you guys are playing a game now where you're looking for things to be insane about, because this is really it. When we're talking about, imagine this world right now where LeBron James in high school, LeBron Giant James, right? LeBron James and all his physical prowess could just jump up and say, I identify as a woman, and he would be allowed to compete with other women in his school. Just imagine physically, just, close your eyes for a second and imagine LeBron James on a mat, right? Wrestling a woman. And people just being like, oh, it's totally fine. He self-identifies as a woman, so that's enough. Now magically LeBron James is a woman. This is crazy, right? So for every leftist following me that loves to follow me because you need me to be your Cruella de Vil, oh my God, how could she possibly say that? Oh my God, I can't believe Candace is just saying it. She's just out there just like, 1 + 1 = 2. Like, how could she do that? Candace is a bigot. Candace is a transphobe. You guys have to throw a phobe on everything, by the way. You guys just say phobia. You don't even know what phobia means. Like, you'd be like, you're a transphobe. You're a phone phobe. You're a this phobe, a homophobe, a sex phobe. All these crazy terms. Phobia means a fear of. I don't have a fear, no irrational fear of trans people. Like, oh my God, there's a guy in a dress. I'm so scared. I'm going to sprint away because I'm just so scared of this. Or, oh my God, there's a woman who says she's a man. I'm not afraid of that. Okay. What I am attacking is this perverted attempt to pretend that we don't have biological differences. You guys understand that legally, gender dysphoria is legally considered a psychiatric disorder. That's a fact, right? So you can't censor that. You can't censor that. You can look it up. And it is legally considered a psychiatric disorder. And I believe, there are tons of different psychiatric disorders. Many people know people growing up that have had psychiatric disorders. I certainly do. I knew someone who had bipolar disorder, and, psychiatric disorder is a real thing. So it's not something that people should be made fun of. And there should always be, deep consideration given when you're talking about other forms of psychiatric disorders. But when you start pretending that I have to jump into the fantasy land that somebody else is creating, right? Like, so if a schizophrenic tells me that they're Superman, and then I say, oh, that person cannot fly, and suddenly you're like, Candace, you're a bigot. You're a Superman phobe for saying that this person cannot fly. It's like, no, I just am observing reality. And you keep trying to tell us that we have to pretend that we do not see reality, that there are not differences between men and women. There are. They're beautiful. They're sacred. There are some things that men have to do that I would not want to do. There are things that, you know, that women have to do that men would not want to do. And I'm just not going to sit here and play stupid and play dumb. And that upsets you because, oh my God, you know, Candace Owens, she's Cruella de Vil. She's a villain. She's so scary. She just gets up on Instagram and says the truth. It's so scary. I really don't care. I still don't care. I had a baby, came back. I still do not care about your little leftist fantasies. I think you guys need to grow up. And if you think that I'm going to be too scared to speak out because you create stupid terms, right? Like a transphobe, and pretend that everybody's a bigot. And literally today, somebody called me a white supremacist. A white person, of course, because there's nothing that screams white supremacy quite like a white person being upset that a black person doesn't see their worldview. So they then proceed to attack them. Like, that's actually the definition of white supremacy. You think your ideas are so supreme that a black person should shut up and just get in line, or else be lambasted. So, I mean, it's just, the world has gone crazy. I feel like I left. You guys just went nuts. You're canceling Dr. Seuss. I mean, I take 6 weeks to take care of my child. I'm changing Pampers. And you cancel Dr. Seuss. What did he do? I love green eggs and ham. Why was that bad? What was Dr. Seuss doing? What did Mr. Potato Head do? I thought we had enough when you guys went after Aunt Jemima. I really did. I thought, you know what? They went after the really nice Land O'Lakes lady on the butter. She was so nice. She was so innocent. Land O'Lakes lady on the butter. I used to get her all the time in the supermarket. Y'all canceled her. Threw her away. Aunt Jemima, gone. Uncle Ben, gone. Mr. Potato Head, gone. Dr. Seuss? Now you can try to let grown men be in women's sports? This is not okay. So I just wanted to welcome myself back to Lefty Looney World, and I will continue to be your villain. I'm super excited, guys. 2 weeks, launching my show with the Daily Wire. So the countdown begins. A lot of amazing stuff in store. And I missed you guys. So it feels good to be back.